After the fall of Tyre, Alexander entered Egypt as a liberator rather than a conqueror. The Egyptians welcomed him with open arms after years of Persian rule. He then crossed the vast desert to the mysterious oracle of Siwa. Inside the sacred temple, the priests greeted Alexander with words that would shape his destiny. They declared him the son of the god Amun. Whether prophecy or politics, this moment strengthened Alexander's belief that he was chosen to rule the world. In 331 BC, Alexander founded a new city on the Mediterranean coast. He named it Alexandria. What began as a military settlement would soon become one of the greatest cities of the ancient world. It grew into a center of trade, science, and culture, home to the legendary Library of Alexandria. More than 2,000 years later, the city still bears his name, standing as one of his greatest legacies. On October 1st, 331 BC, Alexander faced King Darius III for the final time at the Battle of Gaugamela. The Persian army was enormous, with hundreds of thousands of soldiers, scythed chariots, and war elephants. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander remained calm. He spotted a weak point in the Persian line and launched a lightning-fast cavalry charge straight toward Darius. The bold attack shattered the Persian formation. Once again, Darius fled the battlefield, leaving his empire on the brink of collapse. Gaugamela became one of the greatest military victories in history. After the decisive victory at Gaugamela, the road to the heart of the Persian Empire lay open. Alexander marched into Babylon, where he was welcomed without resistance. Soon after, he entered Susa, capturing unimaginable treasures that had been gathered over centuries. His final destination was Persepolis, the magnificent ceremonial capital of Persia. For the first time in history, the mighty Persian Empire had fallen to a foreign conqueror. Alexander was now the undisputed ruler of the largest empire the world had ever seen. After fleeing from Gaugamela, King Darius III desperately tried to rebuild his army. But before Alexander could reach him, Darius was betrayed by one of his own commanders, Bessus. Wounded and abandoned on the roadside, the once powerful king of Persia was left to die. When Alexander finally found him, Darius was taking his last breaths. According to historical accounts, Alexander covered Darius with his own royal cloak as a sign of respect. With Darius's death, the Persian Empire came to an end, and Alexander became the undisputed ruler of Asia. With the Persian Empire under his control, Alexander refused to stop. Instead of returning home, he marched deeper into Central Asia, crossing towering mountains, vast deserts, and dangerous rivers. His army faced fierce resistance from local tribes who knew the land far better than the Macedonians. It became one of the most difficult campaigns of Alexander's entire career. Yet, through determination and brilliant strategy, he continued expanding his empire into lands no Greek king had ever reached before. During his campaign in Central Asia, Alexander met Roxana, the daughter of a nobleman from Bactria. Ancient historians described her as one of the most beautiful women of her time. But this marriage was more than a love story. It was a powerful political alliance that helped unite the Macedonians with the local people. By marrying Roxana, Alexander strengthened his control over the region and showed that his empire would be built through both conquest and diplomacy. In 326 BC, Alexander crossed the mighty Indus River and entered the Indian subcontinent. It was unlike anything his army had ever experienced. Dense forests, powerful rivers, monsoon rains, and fierce local kingdoms stood in his path. Despite the harsh conditions, Alexander continued his march east, determined to push beyond the edge of the known world. Ahead of him awaited one of the greatest challenges of his life, a battle against the fearless King Porus. In 326 BC, Alexander faced one of his greatest opponents, King Porus. Between them flowed the swollen Hydaspes River, made even more dangerous by heavy monsoon rains. Knowing a direct crossing would fail, Alexander used deception. Under the cover of darkness, he secretly moved part of his army upstream and crossed the river unnoticed. At dawn, the two armies collided. Porus fought bravely with war elephants, cavalry, and infantry, but Alexander's tactics proved superior. After a fierce battle, Porus was defeated. Impressed by his courage, Alexander asked, "How should I treat you?" Porus replied, "Treat me as a king." Admiring his dignity, Alexander restored Porus to his throne and made him an ally. 9. After years of endless conquest, Alexander's exhausted army refused to march any farther. Reluctantly, he turned back toward Babylon. In 323 BC, at just 32 years old, Alexander suddenly fell ill. After several days of suffering from a high fever, the greatest conqueror of the ancient world died under mysterious circumstances. The exact cause of his death remains unknown to this day. Some historians believe it was disease, while others suspect poisoning. With no clear heir, his vast empire quickly fractured into rival kingdoms. Yet more than 2,000 years later, Alexander the Great remains one of history's most brilliant military leaders, whose legend continues to inspire the world.